Thank you, Chair. Let me first respond to the first issue, that the annual budget allocation for the Laikipia County Revenue Board is determined at the county executive and approved at the county assembly level. This is after presentations of the budget proposals forwarded by the board to the county treasury for considerations and inclusion in the annual budget estimates. The other funding of Kenya shillings 10,975,433, that's 14%, was as a result of a checker release delay from the national government. However, the services were rendered as expected since critical programs and activities were prioritized, while other activities were scheduled for the following financial year 2022-2023.
Respond to the second one.
On the second part is the difference between the Kenya shilling 72.6 million and the actual expenditure of Kenya shilling 76,555,343 relates to depreciation expense, which is a non-cash expense. Being a non-cash expense, it shouldn't have been included in the statement of comparison of budget and actual amounts. We take note of the error and it has not reoccurred again.
Auditor, you want to say something as you see the governor is talking about again admitting an error?
I think I have nothing to say, but maybe the committee can deliberate. It is also about exchequer. The first part on revenue analysis is alluding to exchequer delay. The other one they have accepted that there was an error. So it's upon the committee to make a decision.
Senator, you...
Chairman, I don't have anything useful to add. Maybe the committee will do its justice.
Chair, on that aspect of exchequer delay, I think this is a, let me take this opportunity at this moment, Chair, to let this committee take note that these kind of issues will be being raised many of the times until the National Treasury adheres to the requirement that before 15th of the following month, the county government should have their money. And one of the challenges that we are even having now, Chair, is the county government have not received the money from July, August, and September. And therefore, you'd expect more than even what you can see here. And I thought that the Senate is the organ, is the arm of the government that need to fight and protect the interests of the county. So the issues of these kind of delayed exchequer will always be rising up if we, as the Senate, don't really fight for this, so that the National Treasury, now now, Chair, being that we are in a broad-based government, I thought that things will work well now. And I thought that this high time we now need to defend for devolution. And one way of killing devolution is when the National Treasury doesn't disburse or does not disburse the money as required. We'll end up killing the county government.
Thank you. Now, you know, broad-based means you move away from shareholding to a corporate where everyone has shares. Even those who did not vote, now everyone is in there. Now, I agree with you, Governor for Laikipia. I can see you are crying before us. We know that the exchequer delays, and I know, as you say, that for the last 3 months, we have not had disbursements to counties. Senate resumes this afternoon, and I'm sure that is one of those things that will be live for debate before the House this afternoon. I think that there is a move towards resolving, although I know there's some 20 billion that lies there that I think Treasury is pointing to. We had, of course, the mediation committee and all those agreements on what should be disbursed to to counties, and I think there's need to disburse money to counties so that you can pay service providers, you can meet your expenses, because when you don't disburse, then you end up in exactly the same situation as this, where counties borrow, some borrow from commercial banks, you end up paying interest, you don't disburse money to the funds, then funds suffer the kind of things that we see here. So I think, Governor, I agree with you that this is an important. Senator, I'm sure you want to say something on that.
Chairman, this issue is very serious because counties don't have money. There's nothing like the issue of shareholding and broad-based government. No, it is the CS John Mbadi to take money to our counties. There's nothing like these stories, and in fact, governors, you should not babysit the cabinet secretary. He's an expert, as we are told. Being an expert now, we expect him, his expertise will only be seen if he can deliver on the services that he is supposed to do that. And in fact, this issue of he's telling about broad-based, we cannot understand broad-based properly if we don't have monies in our county. We need water. We need water. We need our roads to be done. We need ECDs. We need to pay our teachers, our ECD teachers. That's what we need. We don't want these stories, you are the chairman, with a lot of respect. There's nothing like shareholding. There's nothing like a professional. It is money to our counties. Mwisho maneno.
But you know that we now control Treasury. That one, you know.
I know. That's why I'm speaking to you clearly.
Yes. Yeah. I will talk to John Mbadi. We will make sure that counties move, and John Mbadi should release money to counties. I think that's important. I agree with you. Now, this broad-based, you know, we are there. Thank you.
I propose something, Chair. As we move out of this, now that the reason was delayed exchequer. I really don't know where the Council of Governors would have the powers. And because the way we are leading suffering in various aspects, as particularly the National Treasury. If it is a time the county government, Council of Governors has the power to impeach the Treasury, we can. But now the aspect of impeaching the CSs all relies to the National Assembly. And there are functions that affect the county government, but they are not affecting the National Assembly. And the National Assembly is where we get our suffering, because even the 20 billion, removal of 20 billion is not coming from the Senate, it's coming from. So I know the powers that are bestowed to the Senate is only when it comes to the impeachment of the president. I think this is the high time with the broad-based government that we need to look into either the constitution or the law where the Senate can be given the powers to impeach some of these CSs, not really badly at the moment, but in learning in the future, some of the functions that are related to the county government, and the CS is I don't know which language, it's not working well. Could the Senate have the powers to look into or provide oversight to some of the CSs who have more of the functions, or 80% of their functions are devolved? Otherwise, the county government will continue suffering year in, year out. And even the time, I know some of us will go to the governor, and now some of us will come up here to be the senators. But these issues, unless it is solved by the Senate, we're gonna kill devolution coming soon.
Audit reports for the year ended 30th June 2020, 2021, and 2022. Now, the committee had an opportunity to look at the accounts and the little issues that have arisen from the accounts, and we are satisfied with the responses. We'll take into account the written submissions for this one, so we'll not take you through this process. So with that, I will call upon Senator to make your last remarks as we close.
Thank you, Chairman. I want to commend this committee for the good job that this committee is doing to look into details of our accounts and exactly what's happening. For Laikipia County, please let us be vigilant, because we are the custodian of monies for the people of Laikipia. It is the people of Laikipia who pay taxes so that we can do development on their behalf. So I would request that we take care of that money. And Governor, we in the Senate, we are committed as defender of devolution and counties. We must endeavor to make sure the resources that are coming to our county, they come on time, plus the amounts are increased, because services are to mwananchi. It is in counties where people are. Services are supposed to be rendered in the counties. So sometimes I get worried even to find much of the money in the national government. Like, for example, in health, where it's only policies that are national government. So when you go to the villages, people are telling you there's no medicine. There is no equipment that are supposed to be there. And when you look, like 70% of the money in health, it is in the national government. Money must follow functions. Thank you, Chairman.
Governor.
Chair, thank you. Let me take this opportunity on behalf of, as a government or the county, we always take these engagement, this consultation, as much as is more like it can be interpreted, someone, whatever. But we are always, as a county, we take it positively, because it's also a process of learning. And that's the reason why, Chair, you see I have a big team coming from Laikipia, is because I want them to learn and come to learn a number of issues that engage. It's not really the way probably some people would look at it, as either as a punishment or a criminalizing the whole process, but for us we take it positively, because it is also a moment for us to learn a number of things and even exchange some few ideas. Secondly, and therefore anytime our audit is completed, I'll be happy before I leave and exit from this position of the governor by 2027. It is my wish that I would only want to have 1 year. Probably that the one that will not be cleared, just because I will not have time to do so. But if there is a way that I can even clear that year, I'll be happy to do so that I leave my record very clean, that I don't have any issue of audit. And therefore that's now responds to the private bill that is coming in the Senate of barring the current governor, that they cannot fire a senator just because of audit queries. Well, some of us, we want to be cleared. If I wish these people by 30th June, they will have cleared everything, we are able to do so. So I would request the Senate to fast track, and together with the Auditor General, to fast track this audit and call the governors, let them clear their issues, so that by the time they are going to file for positions, any other positions, they don't have anything pending within the counties. Thirdly, it is our humble request now that we are here and addressing the Senate, let's look into this deduction of 20 billion. It is going to make the county government not even learn. Some of the counties like Lamu and Vihiga, Laikipia, Samburu, and Kirinyaga, some of us, we are going to shut the doors. We only run the hospital, buying the drugs, and there is no other department that will be able to function. And therefore, I think this is high time that we need to look into that. And as what have Senator mentioned, is that there is a lot of money that is left to the national department, the national government, the health, the water, the agriculture, where all that money need to be devoted. Money should follow, the resources should follow functions. And therefore, it is our humble request on behalf of the rest of my colleagues and governors, that let's look at the whole the county government or devolution from a positive point of view, because all of us is one government, as both the country and national government. We are all mandated to give service to our people, and therefore there is nothing to do with the competition. We should look at it, how best can we give the service to our people, and therefore for me this deduction of 20 billion from the county government is gonna affect in a big way the service delivery. And again, the last one, Chair, because I don't want to take a lot of time, this issue of delayed disbursement of funds to the county is making county government managing the county government become expensive. Because at the end of the day, you would imagine, Chair, having not paid the salary of June, July, August, and now we're heading to September. These people will go on the street, and the reason why some of the counties that our people have not gone on strike because of this issue is because we go to the banks to borrow money. So borrowing money, it has interest. So what does that mean? It more makes the county land, the governments a bit expensive because of those interests. And therefore, to avoid the interest from the bank is just by the Senate or the National Treasurer making the timely disbursement of the funds to the county government. I want to arrest my case, and we're really grateful and we are thankful, waiting for the next session to be called to submit our responses. But we are also looking forward for a few years to come that will not even come here, because we will be clearing up our. We are doing well. Yes, Chair, I did, and one of the things is to renew all their contracts and all the powers that were delegated before to the county secretary were all returned, whether recruiting casuals, whatever, were all returned to the county public service board until the date now when I realize that there will be a gap when this county public service board goes home. So that's what we have done. So we have regularized and everything is okay. The county, and even immediately the county public service board come in place, even these delegated powers that have given to the revenue board will be returned back to the revenue board, to the county public service board, because it's only for this space now that we'll have the vacuum of county public service board not being in place.
Thank you. Let's move to the second query.
And Chairman, the governor of Laikipia has alluded to the fact that the former governor is a very good friend of yours. Does it insinuate that he's not very close to you?
Order, Senator. On the contrary. Yes, the contrary. The opposite is true. Let's move to the next point. Now, the second, let's move to the revenue board accounts ended 30th June 2021. We have one issue, one audit query on irregular payment of cash bonuses. Auditor, report on lawfulness and effectiveness in use of public resources. I think I'll be closer to the third governor. Yeah. Auditor, let's move quickly. Irregular payment of cash bonuses.
Um, 2021 on lawfulness, irregular payment of cash payment, not cash bonuses. Note 4, Part 8, the financial statement reflect 14.2 million in respect to board administrative expenses. Included in this expenditure is an amount of 4.8 million being payment of bonus to board members. Further, Note 4, Part B to the financial statement reflect an expenditure of 17.1 million in respect to staff costs. This figure include an amount of 7.4 million for staff allowance, which further include bonus payment to staff amounting to 4.6 million. The payment of bonus for board and staff members totaling to 9.4 million, being a reward for surpassing 2018-2019 financial year revenue targets. However, at the time of payment of bonuses, the board did not have an approved bonus/reward policy, contrary to the Public Finance Management Act of 2012, Section 104, Part A, which state that subject to the Constitution, a county treasury shall monitor, evaluate, oversee the management of public finances and economic affairs of the county government, including developing and implementing financial and economic policies in the county. In the circumstances, the management was in breach of the law. Thank you, Chair.
Governor?
Chair, the 2018-2019 financial revenue target was 800 million Kenya shillings. However, Kenya shillings 815 million 400,000 was collected as revenue. A bonus policy had not been adopted, but the Revenue Board members passed a resolution to share the bonus. Currently, the Revenue Board has a draft bonus policy in place awaiting approval. That can be seen in Annex 1A, 1B, and 1C for the board minutes approving payment of the bonus, summary of the bonus payment, and a sample of the board member appointment letter and a draft policy. So, Chair, to explain this is that the payment was done on basis of the minutes without the bonus policy, but I want to say that that is in place, just waiting for approval by the County Assembly.
Once more, you've thrown your predecessor under the bus. You've admitted that there was no policy and that you acted in violation of the law, correct?
I really don't think so, because the Revenue Board, in the absence of a policy, and now that they have got to this, that they have met the target and surpassed the target, then the board would sit and have through minutes on how to do that as they wait for the policy.
Section 104, 1A is very specific. Senator?
The response, I'm saying, what was the target was 800,000?
800 million, Senator.
This is 1,000 from my reading.
I apologize for the typo error.
It's 800,000. It should be 8 million. Is that
800 million.
Okay.
so? No.
The target was 800 million Kenya shillings, but they achieved 815 million 400,000. So it's only 3 zeros that are not added towards there.
Okay.
It's a typo. It's a typo.
No, it can't be only 3 zeros. This is Auditor, can you speak to this? It's more confusion again.
Even without going to the 800 or 800 million, the expectation is that the policy ought to have been in place before the payment. They were using a draft which has not been approved. So that is our position. They ought to have approved the policy. Then out of that policy, they sit in and then they come up with a minutes to approve, based on the minute, the bonuses to the board members and the staff.
Senator, any more comment?
I'm trying to.
There is a violation here, and I don't think.
Yeah, I'm trying to read the resolutions, which were they start
So
from.
the resolutions cannot amend the law.
So I'm trying to read what they discussed until they arrived at that.
I think we'll give directions in 7 days on the. This is obviously this one you don't run away from. Yeah, I think this one is cast and set out. We'll give directions in 7 days. Let's move the next query. Financial, at page 1, year ended 30th June 2022. Budgetary controls and performance. Auditor, are we there?
The Chairman, as you make the ruling, or
Yes.
as we go to the next one,
Yes.
these bonuses My quick mathematics is telling me it was 10% or something.
You are taking us back to this query.
Yeah,
It's about compliance, not about the point is
There
there was no policy,
Yeah.
and unless you tell us the law on the circumventing of policy or when a party is not bound by the provisions of 104, there was a violation. Unless there's an exception or a rider that says that you can pay bonuses without or using minutes and thereby overriding or ignoring policy when you reach a certain amount. I think that's the only saving grace that you have here. And I think we can keep that for directions from the committee. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's move to this query, next query, that is on the financial year ended 30th June 2022. It's just a single issue, budgetary controls and performance auditor.
Budgetary controls and performance, that is on other matters. 1.1 is on revenue analysis. The statement of comparison of budget and actual amount for the year ended 30th June 2022 reflect an approved revenue budget of 72.6 million and actual revenue of 61.6 million, resulting into an income shortfall of 10.9 million. The County Revenue Board did not actualize its budget by 10.9 million or 14%, an indication that some of the programs and activities that had been planned were not implemented. Therefore, the board needs to review the budget making process to formulate a realistic budget that will have been actualized for service delivery. 1.2, because it's the same, can I proceed? Expenditure analysis. The statement of comparison of budget and actual amount for the year ended 30th June 2022 reflect an approved budget expenditure of 72.6 million and an actual expenditure of 76.5 million, resulting to a net over expenditure of 3.9 million, comprising of an over expenditure of 5.9 million on one item and under expenditure of 1.9 million on three other items. In the circumstances, the board underspent the total budget projection by 1.9 million, which translates to equivalent service not offered to the people of Laikipia County. Further, the 5.9 million over expenditure on one item during the year had no budgetary approval, contrary to Section 19, subsection 4 of the County Revenue Board Act of 2014, which states that no expenditure